Hey everyone, I'm Mary Delgado with the Blockchain Herd. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, and please don't forget to hit that like button and keep those comments coming because I really appreciate them. Today I have a wonderful guest that has a great story and has a lot to tell you. His name is Haseeb Awan and he's with Efani. So welcome to my channel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I would tell my viewers all about you and what I looked up, but I think that you're going to do a better job of that. So, tell me how you got into the crypto world, where you started, where you've been. Tell me about your journey.
I think I got for the same reason that everyone gets into crypto for the financial part. I thought it was the best way to make quick money, fast, quick money. And when I got into crypto, I think the Bitcoin was around $60, and there was no Ethereum at that time. And we had like other coins like Feather Coin. So I think the day I bought Bitcoin, I bought it on cash. So I met my friend and he said, okay, I'll sell you 100 Bitcoins. The exchange name was BTC. A lot of people don't even remember that. And bought 100 Bitcoins, and the price of Bitcoin went to half the next day. I think it
Wow.
dropped to $35, and I thought this is the biggest Ponzi scheme, which I still believe so. But again, coming back to the point of Bitcoin is that people. So that's how I got on Bitcoin, and then the price of Bitcoin kept on climbing. We had $1,000 mark, I think, around 2013, end of
Mm-hmm.
2013,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the time where it was getting very difficult to buy and sell bitcoins. So that came up with the concept of Bitcoin ATM, because it was still very, very difficult. So met with my co-founders and we did a startup together. We thought it would be a joke, frankly. We thought it would be like a weekend stuff, a gig,
So you
but turned
you
out to be a
just
real
you just
business.
started off by you were like horsing around. Let's just do this thing as a game.
Correct. Like I think we met at a restaurant, and frankly, we just said, "Who wants to do a weekend project?" And if you consider like a project of, because it was really difficult at that time to buy and sell bitcoins. Like think about it. Right now, like people are the concept of DeFi is alien for a lot of people. Like MetaMask, like transferring money, trust wallet. These are very difficult terms for a lot of people. So at that time, you had to send money to random exchanges. Like Mt. Gox was one of the exchange, BTC. These were like exchanges that literally no information, and you will just hope that you send them money. And sometimes they may have an account in a jurisdiction that have no control. So you may be sending money to an offshore entity, and with a memo, and then you email, "Hey, this is my transaction number," and then they will manually debit it to your account. So it was kind of sketchy.
It was sketchy and complicated, and you just didn't know what you were doing or where your money was going, really.
Correct. Like think about like right now, if I say here is a new token, you may have some idea, but a lot of time at that time, even Bitcoin wasn't in trouble that people would not even understand how Bitcoin will work. Around the exchange, at that time, we had like sketchy exchanges across the world, literally with no information. There was no contact us. You would send an email, and everything was working out. But the problem was whenever you have to send money, it will have a lot of like losses in terms of exchange fees, because you were like, imagine I was in Canada, I was sending euros, uh, to a bank in Europe, and I have to buy US dollar, and then the amount will get debited in US dollar. So we used to lose like 3 to 6% on exchange rate. On top of it, there was no guarantee that the funds will get reimbursed. You will literally email someone and they may respond after 1 week. And so it was not like quick. So that was the challenge that we wanted to solve with Bitcoin ATM. But frankly, it was like just a kind of a joke. Um, and joke as in like, we didn't take it seriously. And so I said, now we need to find customers. So the first customer I called, he said, okay, I'm building a decentral in Toronto. Why don't you come along and help us out? And we will do install this on the 1st of January 2014. So let's do it. So I remember around Christmas time, we were working on it. He came over and he said, okay, I want you to meet someone. We are working on a new Bitcoin and Bitcoin 2.0. I said, okay, what this is? And frankly, there were like Feather coin, like Name coin, like 30, 40 different kind of tokens at that time. Master coin, like ICOs are not unique. They're happening for the longest time. They will do a token sale too. I said, okay, what's the concept? Okay, let's fix the internet and everything. So the guy I met was kind of, they said, okay, I said, what would be the name of the project? They said Ethereum. So
Ethereum.
yeah,
So
Ethereum.
you connected with Ethereum before
Yeah.
they even had
So my
named it?
my first customer was an Ethereum founder.
Wow.
So
So
he
what was
said,
the
we will
value then?
basically, sorry.
What was the value then?
So there was no Ethereum at that time. So they were just buying a domain at that time. But the first time I bought Ethereum was 15 cents.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
So so then we installed the ATM, everything went fine. Like Anthony is still a good friend. He asked me to fly down to Miami, where they said, let's meet up everyone. So everyone who was the Ethereum founder team came up. We lived in a house for 1 week, and that's where the Ethereum Foundation was found, and a lot of stuff happened. But anyways, coming back to the point of then came back and said, let's start so I used to carry this ATM all across, and we got famous. Like we got mentioned in multiple magazines. Everyone wanted to buy Bitcoin ATM because it was the first Bitcoin ATM. It was kind of a novelty item. So wherever something people used to go, they used to say, okay, let's buy ATM. So if you want to be popular, you will say, I'll just buy a Bitcoin ATM.
Okay,
Bitcoin was
so
still,
let me go back to the Bitcoin ATM. What exactly did the Bitcoin ATM do?
it's exactly what it means. Like basically you go to an ATM, you can withdraw dollars or you can withdraw Bitcoins. So you
Okay.
can just walk in, you say, I want to buy Bitcoin, you put in $10, you get Bitcoin $10 worth of. If you want to sell Bitcoin, you send Bitcoin, you get $10.
So it was an exchange, if you will, correct?
Correct. Like exchange as in like US dollars. So you
Okay.
can get fiat rather than going to exchange, because at that time it will take minimum of 10 to 15 days to send money to exchange and get coins.
Gotcha. Okay.
And for smaller exchanges, it doesn't make sense. Like it was still a new concept, so people would not be shelling out like thousands of dollars. So someone want to try $100, exchange fees, like wire fees and everything will cost $50. Just an easy way to buy and sell Bitcoin.
Okay.
So then we got popular and we started getting calls from all over the place. The second machine I think was installed in Montreal. It was Bitcoin Embassy. Third one installed in like Ottawa, where I'm from. And then, frankly, I think before we knew, we were in like 18 countries and we had like 100 locations. And
Wow.
around that time, I met Alexis Ohanian, who basically founded Reddit. And he says, apply to Y Combinator. So we applied to Y Combinator. For people who don't know, it's the best incubator in the world. Like think about like Stanford, MIT for startups, with the admission ratio of like less than 0.1% or something. So we got in, and my group partners were Justin Can and Gary Chan. Both of them amazing people. Like Justin Can is the guy who started Twitch, which was sold around that time to Amazon for $1 billion. So they were guiding
Wow.
us how to build a company, and
Wow.
so
You
there
you
were
were around
interesting
some
projects
great
around that
company, that's
time.
for sure.
Like I remember one of our batchmates was building a file storage system called IPFS, which is called Filecoin now. Other company was One Name, which is Blockstack now. And then Stellar was literally built in our neighborhood. People say, okay, let's build a Stellar company. So there were a lot of interesting projects coming along. We used to have a small meetup in our house from time to time. And frankly, those were really good days. So now it's 6 years back. But like, I wish if I could go back and fix a lot of things and buy much
Yeah,
more
if
Ethereum than
I
I
could go
bought.
back in time, I would fix a lot of things too.
Yeah. But no regrets. But
Yeah.
just being living in that time, and I hope the machine will end up in computer music one day, and I can say that, hey, this first machine was installed by me. That
Yes,
actually I
I,
think is
I
very
think
cool.
I think that's probably going to happen. I think it will. Now I have a
Yeah.
question. You were talking about IPSS. What is IPSS? So my viewers can understand what that is. And I'm imagining that something's similar to like a Dropbox where you can put files in. Is that right?
Correct. Correct. So the concept is like if you think about like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency have a couple of abilities which are very important. Number one is censorship resistant. Number two, decentralization. Number third is uh, number two is decentralization. Number third is like the nature of like irreversibility, and so that's the nature. So with Dropbox, it's all centralized, and basically imagine there's a dispute between China and US, and Chinese nationalists storing some information on Dropbox. Now US company can subpoena Dropbox and get the information,
Okay.
while this is incorrect in a grand scheme of things. Like think about American citizen data being subpoenaed by government of Russia. So that basically becomes a security risk. So what if there's a decentralized system which companies can use across the world to get all kind of like censorship resistance, like no government control and everything. So that's what the concept of IPFS is. Now it's like named as Filecoin, but at that time it was IPFS.
Okay.
So I think they raised like $400 million or something, and so that's the concept. And then Blockstack, they're building totally new internet. Very amazing company. I think, frankly, these projects are so ambitious that actually makes that money comes like, money doesn't look very relevant. That, okay, man, what if we are able to achieve this? What if someone is able to do that? So I think that's why Combinator did to me, that, think big.
Right.
And entire concept of Bitcoin and like replacing money by traditional systems which have been running for decades and decades and actually centuries. Is it possible for humans to program money? Is it possible for an engineer to build a system? And I think that concept is fascinating.
Yes.
And I would not lie, like I'm in for money. Obviously, money is the biggest factor of crypto, but more than money, it's also about you can work on really cool shit.
That should be your slogan.
Yeah. So I'm very blessed. I'm very happy that I was able to catch the ride early, wave early. But more than that, the most exciting part of like doing things that actually excites you.
And you're motivated by the technology of it. Financially, you want to be financially secure. That's important to you. You have a little boy, as I met earlier via video. So that's what's important to you, right?
100%, like money has to come along, but what I think I've seen is like you can work on we have scientists who are working on medical problems. Everyone is working on everything, exciting stuff, and that's what's fascinating. Obviously I have to play to my strengths, and I got in early, and my name Haseeb means accountant in Arabic, so I have to work in fintech. But like the goal is that money will come along, but obviously there's technology. It's just that I got in, it excites me. Like
Yeah.
the thought of like creating money from thin air is like, having a printer at home is like something exciting,
Yeah.
and doing stuff that you are not allowed to do so
Yeah.
before.
And the fact that, also all of this is decentralized, that's pretty exciting as well.
Yeah, decentralization is certainly it's all relative. Like if you think about Bitcoin, I think you can pretty much fit like 4 or 5 people who can control more than 50% of the hashing power. So it's centralized, yes, but like it's not as centralized as people think, decentralized as people think. Like there was a hack that happened like a couple of days ago with KuCoin, and all the companies which believed that they were decentralized were able to reverse the transaction. The Ethereum had a DAO attack, and Ethereum was forked, and the Ethereum that we have right now is not the original Ethereum. It is actually fork Ethereum, and so it's not decentralized, but yeah, it's basically independent of the state.
Right. Depends on what their laws are, right?
Correct. So
Yeah.
like if someone gets a subpoena or something happens, Bitcoin you can still, not Bitcoin, but you can change a lot of projects. And if frankly, there are maybe like 4 or 5 people who can change the structure of Bitcoin if they want to.
So for you, what was the one thing that changed your mind to really start believing that it wasn't a scam, that there's so many possibilities with crypto? What was the one thing that changed your mind that made you start believing?
So I think a scam is a very relative term. Like, what is a scam? Like, you can say government is a scam, money is a scam,
Yeah.
housing market is a scam, business
Yeah.
is a scam, stock exchange. So you can think about like it's all relative. You can say politician is a scam.
Yes.
Someone may call me a scam. They're all about like scam definition of scam. No one is kosher, right? Everyone is dirty one way or the other way. And if you think about like how this entire structure of money works. Technically, 99 point, I would say 90% of the projects owner will say their projects are scam. Other 9.9% will lie. Like if you fundamentally believe in Bitcoin too, it's also kind of a scam if you consider that people have to buy Bitcoin, and if no one buys Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin will go down.
Right.
That's pretty much what it is.
Supply and
But I
demand.
think the concept of having a money that's finite makes you excited because it's an asset class. It's similar to like you buying jewelry or you buying painting, which can be a finite amount. So that's what it is. But the most exciting part about is you can do a lot of possibilities that were not possible before. And when you end up regulation in an industry, it allows you what's possible. So I'll simply give you example. Right now, you cannot short a city. So if I had money, if I want to imagine San Francisco is a stock, and I can short it, that hey, I believe in the next 5 years San Francisco will go down, or New York will go down. There's no way for me to do that right now.
Right.
You can have prediction markets, you can have betting sites, but you cannot have, hey, I don't believe this team will perform next season. That's a bet. But overall, you cannot bet on this thing. You cannot go like, I'll give you a simple example. There's a company called like, there's the two manufacturers. Imagine like Tesla versus General Motors. So right now, at any point of time, you cannot go short and long on one thing. You cannot say, okay, I believe that in the next 2 years or next 6 months, General Motor will perform better than Tesla, right? You can do it by like, you and US dollar pair, but it's not possible. Like you have to do two pairs. So there's no direct correlation. So there's a lot of tools that are not possible right now. And I think Bitcoin enables us, or cryptocurrencies generally enable us to do things which were not possible without in a current world because of regulation.
Right, right, and that takes me to with the Bitcoin ATM. I think you left there for a time period, and then that's where the whole idea with a SIM came about. Is that right?
Correct. So there was one thing. So with ATM, you need to have a KYC. KYC is know your customer. That's a regulation. So hate it or love it, government want to know where you're spending their money.
Yeah.
Right. So every country have their own general restriction, but in US, which is basically the dominant monopoly on regulations across the world, they will say that you need to have any kind of keep any kind of a record. So the easiest way because on ATM, people don't do a lot of transactions. They generally do like a smaller transactions of like $100, $200, $300. So you wanted some record of what happened. So the easiest part was that you just take a telephone number. So people will just put in their telephone number, and there's the companies who will provide information on the telephone number. So tell us who this number belong to, what's the date of birth of this person, what's the social security number, what's his address, which career he used, how many people live on their family. And
So does that have to do with the data privacy that sometimes is sold? Is that right?
correct. So it's legal for companies to sell the data, and it's part of your contract. So when you when you sign up for your cell phone service, it's basically part of that. We do share with everyone, pretty much. That's the term, right? And
So let me
if
say that.
I
Let me say that again. So the data pretty much that they're selling is your name, your address, your date of birth. You said your social security as well?
correct, there are companies who are built just around. They will provide your social security number if you tell them their telephone number. That's the
Wow.
only purpose of a company.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it's a $50 billion industry of how you can buy someone information.
that is crazy. I don't want my information all out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, but this is part of the contract. Like business models have changed. Like now people are willing to trade that information for a cheaper plan. Privacy is like made in America. People will buy it as long as cheaper than made in China.
Yep.
So people will think about, hey, I want to have privacy, but at the same time, they want to share their pictures on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, or Facebook or any other social media that's
Yeah, or
out there.
anything. They will check in and you cannot have both, right? Either need to be a private. And the problem is when you become popular and poor.
Yes.
You can be popular and rich and you can have protection, but what if you're popular and poor? And that's where people will strike you. So that's the concept of where, if you look at ATMs, how much information is out there just by telephone number. Because on a grand scheme of things, if you believe that if I meet you, you may give me your telephone number. And if I ask for your social security number, you'll say, what the hell are you asking? Why are you asking for social security number? So you don't have the same kind of resistance or protection when you come telephone number, but your telephone number is the identity.
That's
If you
right.
call
You're
it
you're
in your
you're likely to
bank,
give your phone number to anyone. That's like, oh, okay, you can't steal anything from me. You don't have anything else other than my phone number. But you don't understand that there's a lot that you are giving away with that phone number.
correct. This is a unique identifier. So if you go to like a rewards point, they will ask you for a telephone number. They say, okay, what's your date of birth? What's your telephone number? And everywhere you lose anything, you just ask you for telephone number. And by telephone number, they are able to pull up all the record. So similarly, what happened is their websites will aggregate all this information and then sell that information to anyone they want. So if I want to target, I want to target all the Caucasian people or like Black community or any community in a specific neighborhood, making a specific amount of money, doing a specific job, and of a specific age bracket, I can do that by direct mail. And it's all that are being sold. That's why you get targeted advertisement. But more than that, what's at risk is if you're targeting a specific person, you can literally go on website, spend like 10 cents and get anyone's information. And
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
like
kind of
demographics. I think Facebook kind of does that where they ask, demographics, who do you want to advertise to? So is that similar to what you're talking about right now?
correct. But that's one is like generic, right? Like, want to reach someone who's brown, Muslim, 30 and like work in tech, this education. That's a generic thing. But the thing is you say, oh, I want to have Haseeb Awan information. I want to see where he lives because I want to really target him. That's where things become very, very, bad. Because now someone is specifically coming after me. So there are two people who have to pay for your data. One is criminal, one is you. So think about if a criminal pay for $1 for you, he expect a lot in return. So that's one information. But the other issue that comes along is actually a dark web, where you can even buy someone call logs. So if you can pay someone $100, then he will give you your call logs, and that's where things get worse.
So, like, are you speaking from experience? Because I mean, this sounds so dark.
Yeah, I'm talking from experience. I'm talking from something that's not like it's not like something that I'm making up. You can literally go on dark web, pay someone $100, and they will give you someone call log, and even the live location of where a person is traveling.
No, I mean experience as in that this has happened to you where you have had your identity, if you will, stolen from you pretty much.
So yeah, mine since my number was tapped 4 times. I don't know if someone accessed my call logs. Frankly, I have no idea, but I know that it's quite possible to do that.
Wow, to have your SIM card stolen 4 different times, I mean that had to really light a fire underneath you to really get things rolling with protecting people's identity.
In my case, frankly, I lost my sanity. I was unable to function. I could not leave my house. I could not keep my window open. Even I was scared that someone will shoot and kill me, that I had to leave the country. For my case, it was more like a fun thing. And I was kind of paranoid that I stopped talking to people because I don't know what's happening. I start suspecting everyone. I was unable to function for almost a year.
Oh my
That
gosh.
that because think of like I could not do anything. Like I was so scared that I could not do anything till there was a point like I think I watched a video or something and I said, okay, I need to get it back. I need to fight. And that's where the fighter within me came back. But it took me a lot of time in rehabilitation to get back to my senses because the problem with this was like I thought of myself as someone who like unique in terms of like I'm smart. I personally believe that I was smart, and the reason it was happening like well, I was it it was embarrassing that I could not even ask for help because people think, oh my God, you were, because think about it, like people believe that you are a very smart person and you are like a leader and you understand something really well, technology, and now you cannot even fix a small problem.
You felt
So
helpless.
Yeah, I felt helpless. Like, frankly, there was no one to talk to. Like, who should I have called? You can call like your regular carrier. They will, transfer your call to someone like offshore, and the person will go through like three or four. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me escalate it.
Right.
And what
They go
happened?
they go
Like,
through a script of what they need to say, and it's really not helping you because I mean, let's face it, you were scared and you didn't have anybody to ask because you're like, you're your own help, but I'm too afraid to press on.
yeah, certainly. It was like kind of very, very tough for me because issue is that there were companies who wanted to help me out, and like they would say, "Hey, we'll charge you like $20,000, $30,000,
Who
right?"
has that?
And those companies will come in, and in my case, it was kind of I knew where the issue was. The problem was I could not seek uh, who to ask for help. Like I literally was helpless because this was external sector. Like I can secure everything I had, but with cell phone, it was kind of got a like what do you do with your cell phone if someone is trying to get your call logs? You know, like I don't know if this happened, but sim swap was happening all the time, and sometimes you go into a basement and you lose your signal and say, "Oh my god, I again got sim swap." So you can not go on camping because if you lose signal, I got anxiety whenever I used to lose signals. And every time it happened, I thought it was just like
That somebody was
Cellphone.
stealing your sim again, like you thought that was happening to you once again.
Correct. And like losing your signals all the time, like and looking at your phone all the time, it actually has an impact on my family life and everything I do. Like imagine you are playing and you watch your phone every half an hour because it has an impact on my mental health.
Yeah. So then you picked yourself up from your bootstraps and you said, "You know what? I'm better than this and I'm not going to let this defeat me." So you just figured out a way, right?
Correct. So I started a company around that time. I did it for myself. I I made a joke. I called it don'tpost.com and I started selling it. And I said, okay, let's people see if they want it. So I set up like a checkout page, and then people said that okay, I wanna try the service, and then we kept on growing, kept on growing, kept on growing. It's been almost a year, and we have hundreds and hundreds of customers that we protect today.
That's great. Now, so I think about SIM cards, and you're talking about SIM swap and all this stuff like that, and a lot of people feel like they're protected because they have the two-factor authentication. But here's the thing: if you get your SIM card taken away, right? Some other phone has your information and they're pretending to be you. So if you get that two-factor authentication, it's going to go to that other person and not you. So you're still going to get your information stolen, even though you think you have that safety precaution in place as that two-factor authentication. Is that right?
That's correct. So there are two different sides. So sim lock, sim swap can happen. Now the only thing is you can mitigate a bit of damage, and the easiest way to mitigate a damage is by two-factor, as you mentioned before. So which means that no one may be able to get into your personal bank account, or not bank account, but like your Coinbase or your Gmail account, but they can get into other accounts like Instagram, Facebook, personal pictures, iCloud, and you will not even know what they get into till it happens because we have forgotten a lot of logins, and we just believe they are, we don't care about them. But people are coming after three things. So number one, they come after your finances. They will try to drain money as much as possible. They may go into a bank account, transfer the money on to exchange, and do a transaction. So that's one thing they do. Number two thing that they do is they come after your social, like reputation, right? Where they will try to steal your information, like if you're a lawyer, they may take your client information or any information that they can use against you or blackmail you. And the third is emotionally. Sometimes it's just a fun for them. It's a video game for them to torture you.
Yeah.
And they will send you, hey, see this picture of yours, you know, oh, I guess you're having a good time there. Like imagine you are in a beach and someone send me a text message, hey, I see that you're having a good time right now on this beach. And you will see, oh my God, someone is watching me. Or you
Yes.
sitting, or you bought a new car and someone send you a message, hey, congratulations on a new car,
Yeah.
your friend,
So
right?
let's
Now,
face it, there are individuals out there that take joy in harassing you, and they laugh. They're in these rooms, they hide behind screen names, and they terrorize you, and they don't understand that emotionally it affects you, or you're afraid to leave your home, like you were just talking about.
Yeah, so it is, as I said, like it is like kind of. So I won't say that this is basically. It's just a joke. It's like a video game for them. You are basically a player in the video game that they're playing a video game, and that their goal is to just enjoy you, and they feel pride and they feel happiness. So they'll say, "Hey, let me have this person." So that happens quite often. And frankly, so there are three things I said. Like one is financially, they will try to take financial information, steal as much money from you. Second is reputation, so they can make money off you again after that too. And third is just harassing you, like and they will keep on doing it by multiple ways. So it's like 80%. I think 70 to 80% of clients are non-crypto. They don't have any crypto, but they are being a victim of other stuff. So I said that there are the two numbers which are important. One is social security number, and second is your telephone number. Let's start off with telephone number first, because the other things are well covered. So I set up a carrier, and our pretty much the thing is we will not monitor or sell any information, and the only source of revenue will be customer money. So whatever people pay us, that's our only method. We will not sell any other information. And I built it for myself, so I basically am the customer number one. And I said, okay, what do I deserve as a customer? I don't deserve to be sold. Like if I'm willing to pay for my own information, my carrier should not sell my information. They sell information because they want to make money. But what if I'm able to pay them the same money? So that's the carrier. And then second thing is around like SIM swapping.
Okay. So how do you feel? How do you assure the person, because you might have different carriers, whether they're Sprint or AT&T or whatever, that say that we don't sell your information, or we protect you, or we're safe, or how do you make the listener feel confident in knowing that you're not going to do these things that the other carriers do?
Certainly. So number one, it's part of our privacy. It's a part of our terms and conditions. So there are two things. Number one, we actually specifically mentioned that we do not sell this information, or we don't monitor information, right? So that's like our part of our terms and condition. Now, how would listeners believe that? So I think the best way is when people switch in, they basically start observing they don't get as many spam calls that they used to go before. And we tell them the websites which were selling their information before. And when they have our connection, they can go to the same sites and their information would not be there anymore. So, and we are also launching a product on which actually deletes you off the internet. So, and we also are like doing credit monitoring now. So we have evolved in our product, but that's part of our money, and that's why we are slightly expensive.
So you just said you're doing credit monitoring as well. Is that what you just said?
Yeah. So we have added like credit monitoring, identity theft, and like data deletion off internet.
And do you have, I think I read somewhere where you have an insurance policy, if you will?
Yeah. So we are insured by Lord of London for $5 million. So imagine you are our customer and something still happens to you. First of all, it will not happen, never happen, but still hypothetically something happens, you are covered up to $5 million in losses. So imagine you lost your job, lost your business, had your identity stolen or number, something got hacked. While a traditional carrier will say that, hey, we are not responsible. So if you screw up and you're on T-Mobile and something happened, they'll say we are not responsible. Mm-hmm. But in our case, no, it's our responsibility, and our insurance policy will cover you.
And on your site, do you have different videos explaining how the process works, how you can sign up, what your fees are?
So I think we have done a very bad job at marketing and explaining this thing. So that's why, our business should be maybe 5 times what we have right now. But
okay,
frankly,
well, that's what I'm here for. I'm going to help you try to get the word out there.
So people can go on Efani.com and they can just sign up. We send them a SIM card, we switch over. We are like a cell phone carrier, like any cell phone. Like you have a T-Mobile SIM, so rather than T-Mobile, you can have our SIM card. And rather than paying T-Mobile, you pay us. We don't have like 20 plans. We only have one plan. It's called Safe Plan. It's $199, which includes tax, call, and data. And that's about it.
So it's like different plan. Is it just one plan or different plans where you can get like unlimited data, unlimited texting, unlimited talk?
Yeah, we only have one plan.
Okay. And that's the safest plan, right? That's the one plan you have, which is the safe plan.
Yeah, safe plan. That's all we have. We don't have anything else. Like we understand that we do not cater to a lot of people, and we are okay with that. We are more like a boutique firm. We don't want to spent time in building, a better cell phone plan. We are a cybersecurity firm, and that's the service we provide. So we just want to make our lives easy and our customer lives easy too.
Yeah. I guess it would almost feel like a government phone, like it's like real secure. You can't break into it, so it would be like a government phone, if you will.
Correct. So the thing is, we are still governed by the laws of US because obviously we live in US and everything. So if we get a subpoena, we'll have to share information what we have, but we collect very minimal information. But at the same time, the thing is that we we claim that we are the most secure phone, and the reason I say we claim is because frankly, I don't know of any other service that's more secure than ours. If there is, we don't need to exist. Frankly, they should just come and lead us, and we should just shut down the company. But our goal is we wake up in the morning and we do, how can you make our system more secure and more private? That's the only thing. We don't focus on, hey, how can I build a better, cheaper plan for you? Hey, how can I do like a new marketing? How can I give you a new cell phone? No, we don't give any cell phones. We don't do, this is the only thing we do, security and privacy.
I love that. Now, do you have hackers on staff that try to hack into your phone system to constantly test it?
Correct. So we have multiple attempts, pretty much like at least once per week. There was, I think, an article last week on a hacker who tried to break on our system, and they tried everything, and they wrote it's like more like a pen test firm, and so they tried everything and they were unable to do so. So other than that, like the Twitter hack, the hackers that were involved with Twitter, the famous Twitter hacks, the New York Times and Wall Street Journal wrote an article.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny is that I believe that hacker was here in Florida, and it was a young boy that did that. But he actually did not break into Bitcoin or crypto. He actually broke into the social media accounts. Is what happened.
Correct. So if you understand the story, I don't know if you know that, but I was the one who broke the story.
Oh,
on
wow.
Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah, so
did not know
I was
that.
the first one to tweet out about that, what exactly happened on that day. And so when I tweeted it out, it went viral, and then Wall Street Journal and New York Times wrote an article on it. And the hackers explained that, one of the hackers explained that we tried to break into Efani too, and we could not.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that should be more news out there that, they tried to break into your system and he just couldn't do it.
Yeah, this was mentioned on New York Times and Wall Street Journal and other magazines too. And they publicly said that, hey, we tried to do that, we could not. So they got into Twitter.
So I'm going to have a link to that story as well, so people can read that and realize that, how safe your project is, how safe going with your service is.
Yeah.
It's weird because when cell phones first came, I'm not old enough to remember that. When cell phones first came out, it was strange to see people walking around with a cell phone. You saw somebody with a cell phone, you're like, wow, they're rich. But now it's strange to see someone without a cell phone. So there's so many people that are walking around with cell phones and not realizing that a lot of their data, their information is hackable. So the fact that you put this together to make people feel safer with their information, because a lot of your information does live in your phone. Because when you do lose your phone, you feel like, oh my God, I'm naked. I lost an arm. What's going on? My phone is gone. So the fact that you're putting that together for everyone to feel safer about their phone and having their information in their phone is great. Because I see a day, and I think it's already here actually, where you have your credit card, you have your driver's license, you have everything. You don't have to have any kind of plastic walking around. The only thing that you're going to need is just your cell phone. Your whole life is going to be right in here.
I 100% agree with you. And you mentioned about like being rich people, which reminded me 15, 20 years ago, if you had a cell phone, you'll be rich.
Yes.
Now, if you don't have a cell phone, now you're rich.
Yeah. That's right.
Like, I think the tables are turned around. I don't think so. The super rich people in the world have a cell phone.
Right.
So they have secretaries who have a cell phone, but they don't have a cell phone.
And there goes a ding on a phone.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself, or where do you see the company in, let's say, 5 years from now?
I think it's a very broad prediction, frankly, to say the concept for building Efani was pretty much simple. I thought that I'm not for sale. I believe that I want better than whatever they're offering. So I built it for myself. So every day I figure out like how can you make it better?
Right.
So the way we do it is we actually just look uh, at like, what are the things that ordinary customer needs? You know, are they looking for a better secure service? So that's what we offer. Can we add VPN on top? Absolutely. But are we the best company to offer VPN? That comes in mind. Can we offer credit monitoring? Yes, but like, rather than building our system, we say, okay, let's take it from someone and just use it the system. So we try to offer one dashboard where people can just buy our product and then feel secure from every regular everyday threats that they have. Because my motto is pretty simple. There are two numbers that we need to protect: social security number and telephone number. If we can protect both by having one suite, that's the best we are looking for.
Yes.
But again, other than that, it's like all micro. This thing should work. This should not work. And we have conversations all the time. And I say I don't think that we'll be a unicorn. Frankly, I don't think that we'll be a very massive company. I think we'll be a very small company, only focus for the top 1.9% of Americans. And that's our goal. The goal is not to become like super big company or like, go IPO. The goal is how many people can we protect every day? And that's the only success metrics we have. How many people can sleep better because of us every night?
Yeah. So for you, you're all about quality, not quantity. You want to make sure that you put out a quality product out there and not so much concerned about quantity. The quantity will come as long as you put the quality product out there.
Correct. Like I said, like we are not McDonald's. We are like maybe that French bakery across the street that people want to go and spend time and actually walk about it. When I generally have a Ferrari flag on the back, but generally when I talk about this, I think it's better I will prefer to be the CEO of Ferrari rather than CEO of Tesla or General Motors. It's better to have few people and better to serve them better rather than serving everyone, frankly. Because we can't do that anyways. And if you want to compete on numbers, there are companies which are much smarter than us and they can do a better job than being at a mass market.
Yep. So Haseeb, how many users are you currently assisting with their data?
I think around maybe hundreds of like maybe like around 500 customers.
Nice.
That get sleep better because of us every night.
Right.
And
you
about it.
Just launched, not too long ago.
Yeah. So it's like $100 plan. So it's like $50,000-$60,000 per month in revenue, which I believe is not like is it like a unicorn? No, I don't think so, but it's pretty decent.
A unicorn. I love it. Now, tell me again, where can people go to sign on, to have your service, to feel safer, to feel secure about their phone number? Because as you were saying, there's two numbers that you actually should protect, your cell phone number and your social security number.
It's simple, efani.com, EFANI.com.
Okay.
So I have an accent, so people may not, understand. Efani's EFANI.com.
Okay.
And that's about it. Everything is here, frankly. And I said, there's a 99.9, maybe 98.1% chance that you're not our customer or anyone is not our customer. So we are okay with that. We still want to help them out. So reach out to me. I'll help them out what to do if they can't afford our product.
Now, I had another question for you, which was, so a lot of people get worried about all of these phone calls and a lot of people get worried about the text messages that they receive that's like junk text messages, and then these phone calls, these robocalls. Will your system help with that?
So we do help. The problem is that it's very difficult to prevent it, because I'll give you an example. We can block it on our side, but what if they signed up for a sweepstake or gave their telephone number to in a lucky draw across the street or on the internet, right? Because someone just shared, hey, they will win like a free ticket.
Yes.
Right. So we can stop on our end, but people keep on leaking their data. So we do not sell it. But like, what if, as I said, what if you're giving away your number everywhere? You went on Craigslist or someone did that. So people actually, this is a part of revenge too. People will give your telephone number to everyone on the internet. They will sign up for random websites and say, "Hey, I want to move my furniture. This is my telephone number," and then they get spammed by like 100 plus people.
You
So
know,
that's what happened.
I really think about what if someone's upset with you and they know your phone number and then they just take your phone number and just sign you up for all kinds of random things. That would be
Yeah,
bad.
they do. It's pretty common, right? There are websites which you can do for you too. So you go in there, you give someone telephone number, address, and they will spam you with everything.
Oh, that's awful. Well, I mean, it really sounds like this is a must have for individuals who are really concerned about security with their phone number, who want to make sure that they don't get hacked and get their SIM, stolen from them. So, I mean, your project, I mean, it sounds unbelievable. I think that people should sign up for it like now.
Certainly, as I said, it all depends from people to people. Like we just say that we are not for everyone. We are only catered to a small number of people, unfortunately, because of our limitations. So there's no way possible that we will be. But yeah, anyone who care about the security, who don't want to be sold on the internet, who believe that they deserve better, absolutely, that's what we are here for. But we have limitations on how many customers can we take and what price points can we offer.
Do you offer a referral program? So, if Susie tells her friend about, the safe, secure phone system, then she gets, a $10 rebate for referring someone.
Yeah, so not formally, but we have been reimbursing people like 1 month free to both customers. We want to launch our formal program. Like frankly, as I said, we haven't done a good job in marketing and setting up things because 99% customers are coming by referrals anyways. And every day I wake up and they're customers. So I haven't had a chance, and we are not a big team. So we are being super busy, but we are building a new website, better messaging, and try to see that if we can
Well, I'm going
build
to
a
tell
better
you,
brand.
if you are really doing a lot of marketing and it's all referral based right now, then that means that you're getting a lot of really great referrals. Word of mouth is great. That's your best marketing, I think. But if there's anything that I can do to help you out in getting the word out more, and by doing this video, I think that's a first step, then I certainly want to get the word out so people understand how vulnerable they are with their phone numbers. Just don't realize that sometimes.
Certainly, so we think about us as like must have for people who actually need it. Like we are like more like so think about someone is suffering from cancer and you detect a cancer medicine. You will not hold on to that because you're not getting referral fee. You still recommend us. So that's what we think of our product too. I think people, our metrics is, would this person still recommend us if they're not getting any fees? And that's our benchmark. So now we are get past it. People recommend us regardless. So now we are setting up a referral program just because people are lazy sometimes.
Yes.
So to do that, and I think that's a good way to increase your customer base. And frankly, we believe that we are a good product for people actually who need it. So why not just spend take help from our customers rather than blowing money on Facebook or Google to why not give it to our customers and let them help be our brand ambassadors.
I like it. I like it. So let me ask you this: What if there's a question that you could ask yourself? What would that question be?
How can I do better today than yesterday?
I like it. And the answer is?
I think is, man, see what was the bad thing, what was the lowest time yesterday, like what was the worst time yesterday, and then try to see that it never happens. It always happens, like as a business and personal life, crypto markets and everything.
Right.
As a human, you go through up and downs,
Right.
and you believe that okay, what caused that.
So it's like what I like to say is like, what was my time sucker yesterday? And, let me get rid of the time sucker and it might have been me feeling sorry for myself. Boy, that was a time sucker. I need to not do that. So what was my time sucker? And let me not repeat that again.
No, I think that's absolutely correct. It also depends on Was it critical to success or not? Like maybe something have taken entire day, but that was very critical for your life, you know. So it all depends. What was the least ROI for me?
Yeah.
So I spend time. Most of my time is spent with my customers. Like I'm an engineer, so I don't do marketing. And so we talk to our customers, and that's how we build a better product.
Right.
And I say that our customers are our stakeholders are all our customers. We haven't raised like any formal big round of funding or something. So the only people I'm responsible to are my customers and people who use our product. That's all.
Yeah.
Other than
That's the
that,
way it
I don't
should.
have to report to anyone.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. I noticed that a lot of these CEOs, founders, they do these AMAs, whether it's once a month or whatnot, and they also are in a lot of chat rooms on Telegram and whatnot, and they listen to a lot of what their community has to say. And if you're doing that, you're really listening to your customers and getting advice and feedback, just like I do. I get feedback on my channel as well, how I can grow and get better. Then I think that's really important because you're turning it back around on your company to make it about the customer, and that's what I hear you saying.
100%. The problem with the security and privacy is that people don't know if nothing goes wrong. Like imagine you will not appreciate your local cops if everything is fine. And it's like being nice, right? Or being nice to people is just being like a goalkeeper. As long as you're saving all the goals, no one will appreciate you. But maybe the one time you missed the goal, that's when people will say, "Hey, why did you miss the goal?" So that's the problem with security too. Luckily for all our customers, so far they're pretty safe, and we plan to keep it the same way.
Right.
So every customer is fine. Like they like what should I? It's the phone that works, right? Never had an issue, so they're fine. And if you go on Twitter and type out Efani, you'll see how many people are recommending our services and everything.
So
And that's about it.
So I don't know if your reference to goal was like in soccer or in hockey, but we just won the Stanley Cup. The Tampa
Oh,
Bay Lightning just.
sorry, I'm not falling, but yeah, I'm a Canadian too. So I'm from Toronto. I think last time we won the Raptors. So and the team that I used to support in hockey was Senators, and I think they have a very poor record in hockey. So I stopped following hockey. But and actually, I that's the best part of being an American Canadian. You can pretty much switch teams whenever you want, and being living in so many cities, you can have pretty much a jersey of every team, and you can wear whichever team is winning.
That's true. That's true. Well, we just won the Stanley Cup, so congratulations to Tampa Bay.
Okay, congratulations. But yeah,
Yeah, we
Stanley
just won
Cup
it
is a
once.
big thing, I believe.
That's so fun. It was
Yeah,
a
it
great
is.
game.
I don't think so. Canada has won in the longest time, I believe.
Yeah, it's been a
So
little while, but Canada's, they're
I
great.
probably
I
wasn't
love
even born at
Canadians.
that time. But I think basketball was invented by a Canadian. I don't know if you know that. And I think hockey
No,
was invented by a Canadian too. Yeah,
no.
basketball was invented by a Canadian.
So hockey I knew, but I didn't know the basketball was invented by Canadians. That's pretty
I know,
interesting.
I know we are humble people, so we don't get a lot of credit, but
Yes, you are. As you are, you're very humble. So I wanted to know, do you have any upcoming news or information or anything new that you're about to put out there to market that I can let my viewers know?
yeah, so we are building a new website. It should be launched within 2 to 3 weeks, and then we are launching a new product that we haven't advertised yet. We are
Well, you can
launching
tell
an
me.
sorry.
You can tell me what the product is.
Yeah. It's basically so think about like so we'll be monitoring all secret reports, TransUnion, Experience, and I forgot the third name, Equifax.
Equifax,
And
yeah.
and also we are doing identity theft monitoring. So if something goes wrong by your social security number, we can also monitor that. Dark web scanning, and also will be able to delete your information from 113 websites on the internet.
Oh
So all the
wow.
websites which capture your data, will be able to delete all that information.
Can I
So
put in
that's
a
like one
request?
thing. Other than that, we are also launching a spam call blocker, hopefully, and then maybe a VPN. No, nothing. Like basically, like I said, I think security and privacy is not a taboo. People should be willing to ask for it. A lot of time, people think that it's just cool to ask for privacy, and regardless if you're an important person or not, I think we have the right to be private as much as possible. And it's not like people say that, hey, why should I ask for privacy from not doing anything wrong? No, that's that question. You don't want a camera in your washroom,
Yeah.
right? There's nothing wrong you do there, but you want privacy. That's the
Yeah.
comfort. If you're working and there's a camera behind you all the time, you may not feel secure. You may not perform the same way
Mm-hmm.
because we as a human need some time for ourselves,
Right.
and that's about it. So do
Right.
not take your freedom for granted. And frankly, there's a lot of things that you can do for free that will not cost you anything, and you'll still be a better person in terms of security.
Yes. Yes. Well, speaking from a man who's had many interesting experiences, I really enjoyed my conversation with you, and I hope everybody else that's watching this video enjoyed it. I'm sure that they did.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
I hope.
thank you very much for coming on the channel. Really, really appreciate it.
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
All right. As always, my name is Mary with the Blockchain Herd, and I want to say thank you to everyone for tuning into my channel, and thank you so much to Haseeb for discussing your privacy and how important it is. Please make sure that you check out the links below on how you can sign up if you're concerned about the security that you have on your cell phone, because your cell phone number is pretty important. So make sure you check out those links. And as always, you heard it here on the Blockchain Herd.